Super Bowl 54. 49ers versus Chiefs. Kyle Shanahan versus Andy Reid. Jimmy Garoppolo versus Patrick Mahomes. Our three-headed monsters at running back with Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman. Raheem Mostert versus whoever the Chiefs are out there. George Kittle versus Travis Kelce. As a 49er fan, I am very excited that my team is back in the Super Bowl. It's been 6 years since they last played and won, 25 since they last won one. So I can only imagine how Chiefs fans feel waiting 50 years for their team to make it. So anyway, let me break down and predict. I don't know, predict. Let me break down the game a little bit. So the Chiefs offense throughout the season has started off slow, and people kind of forget about that due in part to, what ends up happening in the end, where they'll end up, coming back, scoring a bunch of points, and so they kind of, it doesn't get talked about, and it gets kind of forgotten and lost and ignored. Against this 49ers defense, I don't think you can do that, right? Right, you could be like, well, they gave up 24 to the Texans and came back, and they gave up 10 to the Titans and came back. Well, yeah, but, the thing is, the 49ers want to have a great defense, and also they have a pretty good offense, which gets lost and forgotten. And so they're not going to be a team that's just going to take, the foot off the gas. They're going to keep going. Another thing, the Chiefs struggle to run the football. It's, they also struggle to stop the run. So, the last couple of games, we've done a good job of stopping the run. We were able to contain Dalvin Cook, and we were, for the most part, able to contain Aaron Jones. Granted, the Packers had to throw a lot more due to the fact that they were behind early. So, who knows if the Chiefs' run game will be a factor. And also, Andy Reid doesn't have the best track record in big games. I mean, throughout his career, there's a reason he's still waiting to win a Super Bowl. Granted, he's won one as an offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, which we seem to forget and make it seem like Andy Reid's never won a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. He just wasn't the head coach. Anyway, one of the dumb storylines going into this thing is the whole offense versus defense, which, granted, yeah, the Chiefs have a very good offense and the 49ers have a very good defense, but that's not who the 49ers just generally are. It's not like their offense isn't good. Their offense is great. So if this becomes a shootout, the 49ers can go and match scores. Like they're as the Saints and Drew Brees, I mean, Jimmy G and George Kittle and everybody just said, we're going to put up a lot of points. Another dumb storyline, the whole, Kyle Shanahan not trusting Jimmy G, or is Jimmy G really good? He's only thrown like 20-something times throughout the entire playoffs. Here's why that's dumb, because like I mentioned, that Saints game is a great example of, the ball being in Jimmy G's hands and him making a play. Another great example is the game against the Rams, Week 15. On the game-winning drive, there were 2 3rd and 16s that we had to convert, and we did. So to say that, Jimmy G isn't great is, I don't want to say he isn't great, but like just the narrative with Jimmy G isn't totally accurate as it's being portrayed. Another good example of Jimmy G being great is that first drive in the divisional round against the Falcons. He completed all his passes and completed them to different receivers. It's not like he's throwing to the same guy. So the whole, like I said, the whole narrative being written isn't totally accurate. Now 49ers. Now, part of it is how good the 49ers rushing attack is. You have Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, and Raheem Mostert. Now, we've seen more of Coleman and Mostert, these last couple of weeks due to Matt Breida's fumbling issues. But when Matt Breida holds onto the ball, he's another great running back. Also, you have all the blocking with, just the offensive line. Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk is a great blocker. He's also, a threat to catch the ball in the backfield at times. Deebo Samuel, whenever, he's compared to the way he plays style football, he plays receiver, but he plays it like a running back. Um, yeah. And also, what the 49ers, I guess, are known for this year is how great their defense is. And which is why, the whole offense versus defense narrative is being, thrown out there. The defense only needs to rush four, right? And, people want to say, well, is the defense really that good? I mean, they had that month of December where, you know, they were giving up a ton of points. Yeah, but everybody was like out. You had K'Wan Williams who was out. For a big chunk of that season. You had just a lot of injuries throughout the team. D Ford wasn't back yet. So obviously, if you have missing pieces, the defense is going to struggle. And as I mentioned, the defense they've had the backups where like we still have the rotation, but not what it once was. Um, early in the season. Linebackers are solid with Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Quan Alexander. And the secondary solid. Everybody's like, well, the Chiefs' speed is out of this world, man. You're just gonna throw it over the top. Well, yeah, but the pass rush that does its job, it's not gonna matter. And the secondary is gonna do a good job. I mean, this whole thing, it's like, oh, the Chiefs' speed is too much to get saying. Well, we'll see about that, but I think the 49ers are going to be fine. And also, I think that helps is that the defense has seen quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes throughout the season. Kyler Murray twice, Russell Wilson twice, Lamar Jackson once, and Aaron Rodgers twice throughout the season. With all that being said, my prediction is pretty obvious. I'm taking the 49ers to win this game. I'm a 49ers fan, so it's, you can say it's biased, but I truly think that they're going to go out and win the Super Bowl. You know, Oh, one thing I want to mention, this whole conversation of all of a sudden throwing out, who do you think is going to win Super Bowl MVP is dumb, right? First of all, we have to play the game. You can't just go out there, oh, I think this guy's going to win Super Bowl MVP. Well, how about we play a game and see how it actually, plays out before we start crowning guys Super Bowl MVP? Like, it makes absolutely no sense to me why people decide I guess, when you have 2 weeks and you need to fill time, you start throwing, just ideas at the wall and you say, yeah, we'll talk about that for about 30 minutes. And then like, oh, who's going to win Super Bowl MVP? But anyway, I think it's going to be a great game. I have the 49ers winning Super Bowl 54, their sixth Super Bowl championship in franchise history.